Hi, my name is Jason Hussman, and I'm a regional biologist here in the Salmon region. And today I'm going to be presenting our 2025-2026 elk hunting proposals. This year we have a relatively short list of hunting changes that we're proposing that affect 4 of the 6 elk zones. And with the exception of one proposal, all of them will result in additional hunting opportunity for elk hunters. Before I get into the proposals, I'm going to provide a quick status update for elk across the zones within the Salmon region. Overall, elk are doing well here with approximately 28,000 elk estimated during our most recent winter aerial surveys. We typically fly our elk surveys every 4 to 6 years, but that often varies depending on things like weather conditions and management needs. And currently, all of our elk zones except the Middle Fork and the Sawtooth are within or above objectives for both bulls and cows. Lastly, I'll point out that only the salmon zone is the only elk zone in the region that occurs entirely within this region. This is important to point out because oftentimes there are differing management objectives from one region to the next, depending on things like depredation issues or differences in habitat quality that influence elk distribution. Switching gears to our proposals, our first proposal falls within the beaverhead zone. We're proposing to add an either sex controlled hunt in Unit 30A with 10 tags available, and this hunt would occur during the August timeframe. This hunt would be focused on areas where we've had chronic elk depredation issues, and these are typically caused by large bull groups rather than cows, which are generally more common. Because it is primarily bulls causing the problems, we're recommending a small number of either sex tags to put pressure on these depredating elk to push them off agricultural lands. As the map shows, the hunt area would occur primarily on private agricultural lands that are intermixed with some state and federal lands surrounding the private near the Leadore area. In the Lamahai zone, we have a single proposal, which is to restrict the current A-tag greenfield hunt to private irrigated lands only. The current structure of this hunt allows hunting on public lands within 1 mile of private land. This proposal was developed in coordination with private agricultural producers who feel the current greenfield structure isn't working as it was intended. So basically what we're hoping to do with this proposal is to focus hunting pressure on private lands only to push elk back on public lands. And this would still allow us to maintain ability to address depredation issues. Switching over to the salmon zone, our first proposal is to create a new greenfield antlerless A-tag hunt in Unit 21A. This hunt would be limited to private irrigated agricultural land and run from August through October. On our most recent aerial survey, we saw a significant increase in the number of cows and total elk, and we're also seeing an uptick in the number of depredation complaints and places where elk have become habituated to staying on private lands. So because of this, we're proposing this hunt to occur during the key growing season on private land only to try to push elk back onto public land. Our next salmon zone proposal is the most significant change we're suggesting for public comment. This proposal stems from results of our recent aerial surveys where we've observed a significant decline in the number of bulls in Unit 36B. In our most recent 2023 survey, we estimated 116 bulls, which is a 46% decline from the 2016 survey. And of these 116 bulls, we estimate there were only 17 adult bulls in the entire unit. So to put it bluntly, bulls are doing very poorly in Unit 36B. There are a lot of reasons why bulls are performing so poorly in this unit, but some of the major contributors are summarized in this bottom table. Under population trend, we observed a significant decline in the number of elk between surveys, meaning there are fewer cows out on the hill producing bull calves to recruit into the population. In terms of productivity, 36B tends to have lower productivity in terms of calf to cow ratios, which also means fewer male calves are recruited into the population. And then under motorized accessibility, Unit 36B has very high motorized road and trail access, which results in easier access to bulls and lower bull survival. And then lastly, there's hunting pressure. In this unit, we've seen upwards of 40% of the total bulls killed on average during the B-tag season. So as a result of this has led to declining bull availability, with harvest comprised of a high proportion of spikes and relatively few 6-point bulls. And hunting success has been relatively low compared to the other units, with very low bull to cow ratios. So given this information I just presented, we're proposing to remove Unit 36B from the Salmon Zone B tag and replace it with a Unit 36B controlled hunt with 120 tags that would run the same dates as the other 3 remaining units in the zone, 28, 21, and 21A. This is under the justification that we've observed a significant decline in the number of bulls in the unit, as well as the fact that the current bull-cow ratio of 13 bulls per 100 cows is below our elk management plan recommendation of 18 to 24 bulls per 100 cows. And our population models also indicate that bull-cow ratios will continue to decline under the existing management structure. The second part of this proposal would involve reducing the overall salmon B tag quota by 507 tags for a total of 2,000 tags available. Since Unit 36B averages approximately 500 hunters in any given season, we're recommending this amount be reduced to avoid the issue of maintaining the same number of hunters across the remaining 3 units, which would ultimately result in greater hunter congestion. Our last 3 proposals fall within the Pioneer Zone. Unit 36A is the salmon region's portion of the Pioneer Zone. It has a highly productive wintering elk population that we've struggled to maintain at appropriate levels. Currently, this unit adds about 350 cows a year, but harvest only takes around 200 of those cows. So because of this, we have 3 proposals on the table to add additional opportunity in an effort to reduce the number of elk in the unit. Our first Pioneer Zone proposal is to create a new either 6 muzzleloader hunt with 250 tags with an expanded hunt boundary to run during the month of November. This hunt would combine the 2 existing November muzzleloader hunts, 36A1 and 36A2, into a single hunt area, and the hunt would result in a net increase of 100 tags over the existing 2 muzzleloader hunts now with 150 tags. This hunt would allow additional opportunity on a productive elk herd, and it would also add the flexibility to change hunting locations depending on elk distribution, weather, access, things of that nature. Basically allows the hunter to go where the elk are rather than hunting within a confined, smaller hunt area. This map shows the proposed hunt boundary with the 2 hunt areas combined into the newly proposed hunt boundary. This new boundary would drop the portion of 36A2, the existing 36A2 that falls within the Unit 50 boundary, resulting in a hunt boundary that falls entirely within Unit 36A. Our second Pioneer Zone proposal is to increase the number of December 36AX extra antlerless tags from 200 to 300. As mentioned previously, harvest has not kept up with recruitment in this unit, and we found X tags tend to have higher success rates, so we're recommending increasing these tags to try to get more elk harvested. Lastly, we're proposing to increase the number of January extra antlerless tags from 50 to 100 tags. In addition, we're proposing to add a portion of Unit 37 to this hunt area due to the radio collar data that we have that shows 36A elk moving into 37 and causing depredation issues in the Pennell Gulch and Lime Creek areas of Unit 37. This hunt was initially developed in an attempt to reduce the number of emergency depredation hunts that occur annually during the January timeframe. And the additional tags and increased boundary are intended to attempt to reduce depredating elk numbers and reduce depredations over a larger area. So the map on the left shows the proposed boundary addition in pink, and then the map on the right shows the corresponding radio collar data showing elk movements from 36A into the agricultural areas of Unit 37. With that, that's all I have for the Salmon Region elk proposals. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I encourage you to provide comments through our website or in person at our open houses on the dates shown here on the slide.